Welcome back to Java and Joy. We are going to be talking about your healthy grocery list, like what you should actually be buying every single week. So, if you've ever been curious what a wellness coach buys every week at the grocery store, you're going to find out in this episode. So, I also want to point out that this is going to be like real life grocery list, like things that you'll actually buy and use, and not just a bunch of superfoods. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. As always, welcome in, welcome. I always like to start off these episodes with, a little bit of chit chat about what's going on in my world and share my joy moment. So get comfortable. This is your you time. I want you to relax, take deep breaths, release the tension, and just enjoy this time. If you're able to, grab some Java or whatever your beverage of choice is to have alongside us, that would be great. Cheers to you guys, because we're going to go through this one sip at a time as usual. But just remember, this is your you time. So relax and enjoy. Please. And remember that your you time is sacred. So thank you for being here. Let's talk joy moments this week. Oh, I got a good one. So the garden expansion is underway. And I mean like halfway done already. And it's looking so gorgeous. The entire frame is built. The screening has gone in. The staining is done. So the framework done. And the beds get to go in next. And watching like my vision come to reality, it's just as powerful this time as it was when the original, regular sized garden was built. And I just keep picturing just all the peaceful moments. I mean, the hard work, yes, that's going to happen in this garden. The blood, sweat, and tears, I'm sure. But I just know how amazing my time is now in my garden. It's where I find a lot of peace. It slows me down. It truly grounds me. Playing in dirt just resets my batteries for me. It's also where I sit and have my breakfast in the morning, sometimes afternoon coffee, things like that. And I'm excited to be able to grow and harvest a lot more of my own produce, my own food, my own nutrient sources to cook with. And everything is all organic, which makes me very happy. And we're going to hear a lot of organic stuff today. But I can't believe it's happening, and I can't wait to start planting things next week for fall harvest. It's just going to be amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. So that has definitely been my joy moment, even though it's more like joy moments, plural, for this week. As always, please continue to share your joy moments. Love seeing those in the community. I love sharing those out on my social media outlets as well. Do me a favor, tag me at KARLAJOY Wellness whenever you post your joy moments. And these can be anything that you're doing that you love or that brings you peace. Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe it's a wellness thing you do every day. Whatever it might be, share those things. People need to see more people enjoying life and living life to the fullest. So pay that joy forward. Share it on social media. Whether you tag me or not, share it on your social media. Let people see more good. Let people see more positivity and self-care and joy moments out there, okay? So keep sharing. And I also want to mention the Joy Circle. If you are not already a member of the Joy Circle, we are getting ready to kind of go into like season 2, I would call it. We've only been launched in the Joy Circle just this year. So it's kind of just been getting to know it, figure out what works, what doesn't, everyone getting to know each other. But it's time to grow, and we're going to be having even more fun, I should say, in that Joy Circle community. We already do one ladies' night every month. We actually just did July's last night. It was such a fun workshop. We do trivia, prizes, all kinds of goodies in those. We do a monthly challenge, which is always fun. It's usually like a 5-day challenge. I try to keep it simple and approachable, but again, lots of goodies and giveaways and prizes and stuff. My love language is definitely gift giving, so it comes through in the community. And I want that community to continue to grow, to continue to thrive. I want to bring in more women who are either looking for support with whatever you're going through in this chapter of life, or just looking to support others while they're navigating chapters of their life, or we can do a little bit of both. I believe we're stronger in numbers. I believe in sisterhood. I believe in community. And I believe that the Joy Circle is really a place where we can just be women and be raw and real and support each other, encourage, lift, cry together when we need to, and just be a support system overall and have some fun. A safe place for women to enjoy some time with just us. So get in that Joy Circle. Come join us. Lots more going to be kicking off for the fall. So get in there, get comfy. And I'm just so excited to have you there. And if you ever need questions answered, whatever it may be, go to KARLAJOYWellness.com. The Joy Circle is there. All the information on that is there. But always feel free to reach out to me. Social media, email, whatever you need to do. I'm happy to chat anytime. Okay. So let's get in this. Let's have a sip of Java before we get in too far, right? We don't want to run low on caffeine halfway through this. So one of the questions that I get asked the most, what do I buy at the grocery store? I get asked this a lot. I want you to know that today's episode is not about a perfect grocery haul. It's more about building a kitchen that will make making healthier choices throughout the week easier for you. Kind of like a no-brainer thing. You won't really have to think about it. You'll just have healthy choices to turn to all week long. It's simplifying, okay? Because I believe that healthy eating starts before you cook. I believe that it starts with what you bring into the house. If you don't set yourself up for success, it's going to be really hard to be successful. Now, what I don't want you to think or believe is that I don't bring junk food into my house. That is not the case. I have ice cream. I have cookies. I keep it limited so that it's not like a smorgasbord of treats. But I also make sure that I'm bringing in all the things that I intentionally want to make sure is being incorporated into me and my family's diet all week long, every week, as many days of the week as possible. So I make sure those are the priority things. Like for me, meal planning, yes, I love to plan a meal, quote unquote, or try a new recipe. But for me, meal prep and grocery shopping, it's more about just buying all the ingredients that are high priority for me and making sure I work that in at least somewhere in every day. Okay. I like to keep things very, very simple. That's my philosophy. So for me, a simplified focus for me would be eating whole foods. That's number one. Bringing in things that I'll actually eat. That's a big one because I don't want to have waste. Plenty of colors. I always say eat the rainbow. If you fill your diet with lots of colors of foods, you're going to be way more likely to get all the nutrients and vitamins and minerals that you need by having that variety of colors. So eat your rainbows. I believe in fiber and protein at every single meal. Heavy on that fiber, by the way. I think protein to me is easier than fiber sometimes because protein's add some chicken, add some beef, add the eggs. They're a little bit more no-brainer versus fiber. I think that we underutilize and underconsume fiber. Fiber should be a third of your plate, whether that's broccoli or a salad or whatever that might be. It should be the majority of your plate. And I think we probably don't hit that a lot for the most part. So, and my biggest part of my philosophy is progress over perfection because I'm still not even close to perfect. I have days where things just don't align and work the way I want them to. But I do my best every single week to set up myself for success. I will say that I am an organic shopper at heart. Anything I can buy organic, I do. I would not stress yourself over it, but if you can and have the means, shop organic. So everything I'm talking about today, if you can go organic, do so. But I will kind of tell you what I think is the most important if you're going to prioritize organic over other things as well in here. Okay. So let's start with produce, because hands down, stock that pantry and fridge with produce. Like when you walk into your pantry, or you open your cabinet, or if you have a cabinet pantry, or you open your fridge, you should see an abundance of produce immediately, like center of attention. Okay. My go-tos, and these are things that I have 4, 5, 6 times a week: broccoli, spinach, kale, Brussels sprouts. As far as veggies, okay, starting with veggies, okay, those to me are the foods that are going to give you the highest, like biggest bang for your buck when it comes to fiber. They are loaded with goodies, easy to cook and prepare, relatively inexpensive, and are going to do wonders for you in the fiber department. If you're someone who is looking to lower your cholesterol, look up those four veggies and start prioritizing them. I dropped my numbers in 90 days by prioritizing those 4 vegetables. So those are my top 4 veggies. But I also consume a lot of bell peppers, a lot of tomatoes, and those are the 2 that I get a lot of vitamin C from and are really easy to do things with. I mean, you can add that stuff into every single salad, like make sauces with them, like very easy ingredients, and again, not expensive. And then I would say next would be avocado, because that's like a really good healthy fat. Lots of things you can do with it. Put it on sandwiches, slice it up, put it on, a salad. You can even make guacamole, have avocado toast, like very versatile, and loaded with really good benefits. So those are my top produce veggies. As far as fruits, blueberries, hands down, number 1. I put them in my daily yogurt jars. They're just so good for you with antioxidants. Followed by oranges, that I do a lot because of the vitamin C. I do want to have a disclaimer here. I do not take a daily multivitamin at this time. I stopped a year and a half ago because I wanted to see if I can manage my own nutrition without supplements. And I will tell you that up until this point, all of my tests have been within normal range. Other than my last test, I was slightly low, just barely low, on zinc. So I have been adding in things like lentils and cashews that'll help get my zinc up. And I'll be retesting to make sure that works. But I have been able to have really good vitamin C levels, B levels, D levels, iron levels, everything by eating correctly. There's so many things you can fix in your diet with your diet that you don't have to always take things for. Now, there's always a time and place for supplements, medications, all the things, right? But I like to try whole foods first as my medication, okay? So just a disclaimer on that. The reason why you're hearing me mention like vitamin C is I'm very, very, very intentional about eating things with vitamin C, because I know I'm not taking a vitamin C supplement. And honestly, the vitamin C and all these things that I'm naming are better absorbed from regular food anyway than they ever will be in a multivitamin, okay? So blueberries and oranges are almost daily for me, hands down daily. I also love bananas. Bananas are daily for me only because as a runner, we have a very weird love relationship with bananas. The potassium, the magnesium, the amazing electrolytes, they digest really, really well. They sit on a stomach well. They're great to eat right before you go for a run. So bananas are just automatic for me. It's not even necessarily about the nutrients, so to speak, in them. I love them because they give me some electrolytes and easy digestion before my run. So I eat them every single morning before my workout. So, they do have some great benefits to them as well. But I also like keeping bananas because I love slicing up bananas that are just getting ready to like be too ripe. Instead of throwing them away, I slice them up and put them in glass freezer containers. And I use those to make smoothies, yogurt bowls, and things like that anytime I need to. I promise you, if you've not used frozen bananas in a smoothie or something like that, it will change your smoothie game. Like if you just use ice, you will not get near that creamy, smooth, wonderful smoothie feel as you will with using frozen banana instead of ice. Now you can still add in your frozen berries and your kale or whatever kind of smoothie you're making. Highly recommend though putting the banana in there because it just levels up a smoothie. Okay, so I keep them on hand frozen all the time for protein shakes or a smoothie or whatever I need at that time. So bananas are a constant in my pantry. And I also love strawberries. Strawberries, however, unless they're in season, they just tend to not be great. They're always not looking great at the grocery stores. If you get them, you got to use them pretty quick, right? So I like to keep some like organic sliced strawberries in the freezer as well that I can grab and use for whatever. But I really do love strawberries. So that's something that I like to keep, okay? So those are my top produce. And again, I would say like the things that you're going to eat the most out of these lists, starting with the produce, but those are the ones that you should focus on going organic on. The ones you're going to be consuming like almost on a daily basis, go organic on those. You can look up what's called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen if you want like a list of what they consider to be the most dirty or the most clean produces. But my personal opinion is go as clean as you can when you can and prioritize the things you eat the most. Pretty simple. And use a produce wash. And you can make a homemade produce wash. So easy. Don't go buy any fancy weird stuff. Just make it. It's so simple to make a homemade produce wash. Just clean up your stuff, right? So that's produce. That's what a wellness coach buys produce wise. Produce. Now let's talk about protein. So for me, protein, I prioritize very specifically because I like to get wild caught sockeye salmon in my diet at least once a week, if not twice. It's really, really good for you. It's just a very good clean source of protein and it has so many like omega-3s and healthy fats and it's good for you. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the tastiest thing that I eat all week. I'm actually not someone who loves by nature salmon. Unless it's like smoked salmon or like sushi salmon. Then you can bring it to me all day long. I don't love regular salmon. However, I do recognize the health benefits of it. So part of my weekly meal prep is to go ahead and bake up a few fillets of some salmon so that I can grab those and either use it for a dinner, or I can throw it on a salad, whatever I need during the week, just to make sure I'm getting it in there. I don't necessarily make it a whole meal every week, like where I plan like a whole night, we're having a salmon dinner, right? I'd rather just prep up a tray of it, put it in the fridge, and use it as needed throughout the week. And if it doesn't fit into dinner, then I just throw them on salads as my protein. Just kind of like a lot of people I know use chicken for their salads like every single day. You meal prep your chicken at the beginning of the week, which by the way, that's the second one I'm going to mention, is having organic chicken breast prepped up that you can just grab, especially to throw, like I said, on salads or whatever, whenever you need something quick. These are the kind of things that for me is what I consider meal prep. But I don't buy the little containers and make up little meals in advance where there's like a chicken piece and a thing here and everything's ready as a meal. That's not my lifestyle. But I do prep up all those things that I want to eat throughout the week. I just don't create meals ahead of time. Okay. It's more like a grab and be creative throughout the week with things more so than anything else. So the salmon, the chicken, and then that's followed by organic grass-fed beef. I do have that 1 to 2 times a week. It is 93% fat-free, by the way, that I use. So it's a very, very lean cut. And that is because I've got to have enough iron, especially being in perimenopause, and just it's an age thing. If you know, iron becomes more difficult for us to absorb and maintain in our systems as women at certain points. And that's how I make sure I keep that stuff, like it should be, the right kind of iron, because I don't want to take iron supplements. So again, I prioritize certain things to avoid having to have deficiencies in certain nutrients. Okay. And then as far as protein on the non-meat side, eggs, which is technically still not, vegetarian, but it's non-meat. So eggs, I always buy organic on those too. I prioritize those at least a couple times a week. And then organic Greek yogurt and organic milk. And a lot of times organic cottage cheese, because I love cottage cheese snacks, and it's just a quick, easy protein. Super easy. And I like, sometimes I do it with peaches or pineapple, and then sometimes I do it with tomatoes. Or great way to get fiber, by the way, pairing it with a produce like that. So you're getting a high protein, high fiber snack all at the same time, and it takes very little effort. So I like having that organic cottage cheese on hand. Okay, so, and we already know that protein's important, right? To maintain muscle, keep that energy good, keep you fuller longer, that kind of stuff. So again, I recommend buying all those things and making sure you work it into your week. Whether you cook it ahead or not is totally up to you. Okay. I know we kind of already touched on dairy because we just talked about Greek yogurt, milk, and cottage cheese, but also just having good quality cheese in general and butter on hand. I actually just made butter from scratch for the first time ever. And I gotta tell you, there was something really satisfying about making my own butter. It was so easy. I was shocked. And I don't say that lightly when I say something's easy, because I think everything in the kitchen can be too many steps too often. This was truly easy. And oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever had fresh butter before. And the taste is insane. Like, I don't know if I can go back to store-bought. Like, I'll still buy store-bought if I'm doing like a lot of baking or whatever, and I don't want to make, 20 sticks of butter from scratch. But for the most part, probably going to be making my own butter to be using around here for, just the regular stuff. So it was so good. Even my husband was like, "You did this?" I'm like, "Yes, I did this." I mean, I had it all like shaped like a little, thing of butter. And he's like, "This is really good." He's like, "I'm proud of you." I was like, "I'm proud of me." Because like, that's something for me that's like a big accomplishment, to make something from scratch like that, where I thought it was going to be extremely, like, I don't know. I was intimidated. Let's put it that way. It was so easy. I'll be putting the recipe on my blog, by the way, which is officially launching here in a couple weeks. It's already there. It's under construction, but there's already stuff there. But the full amount of blog is coming. It's called the Joy Journal. There's going to be recipes, gardening, some fitness stuff that I get lots of questions on that people want to know about. All of my resource guides are going to be there, like produce storage guides, meal prepping guides, all kinds of different stuff is going to be on that blog. I'll be doing an official launch here very, very soon. So get over to KARLAJOYWellness.com. It's all there. And you can watch it as it grows. So I digress on that, but the butter was amazing. Okay. Whole grains. Let's talk whole grains. So as a runner, I love my grains. Okay. I love my carbs. I love my grains. I do not cut carbs. I also run 25 plus miles a week. I don't recommend ever cutting carbs unless you have an actual underlying condition that tells you to do so. You need them to operate, like, for literally like your brain to function at its fullest capacity. But it's important that you're choosing whole grains, not just grains. And whole grains, so like our bread that we eat on a daily basis is whole wheat, no sugar added in it. I have to buy it in the freezer section. That's how clean it is. I just got to tell you, if you're not buying your bread from out of the freezer section, it's probably not the cleanest. It probably has some sugar added in it. Check it out, look at it. 9 times out of 10, it's going to. So if you're trying to get rid of like unnecessary sugar and ingredients, start buying the bread that's in the freezer section. I'm not going to name drop brands or anything. I'm just saying, do your research. Okay, make sure it is whole grain. Just because something says wheat, by the way, or multigrain does not mean it's whole grain. Okay. Make sure it literally says whole on it. Okay. I learned that lesson so many times. Another one for me is old-fashioned oats. I have oatmeal almost every single morning. It's one of my favorite breakfasts. I love it. I love old-fashioned oats. I do buy the organic just because I have read a lot about, they spray a lot of stuff on oats that aren't organic. That was concerning to me, so I do buy organic on that. Just full transparency there. Whole grain, brown rice, quinoa. All of my pasta I buy is whole grain pasta. And even the crackers I buy, my snack crackers, those are whole grain as well. So choose those whole grains. Those whole grains are going to keep you fuller longer. They're full of nutrition. So much good nutrition for your body, by the way. So not just fiber, but just really, really good for you. And it won't spike your blood sugar like regular grains do. And just know that, like, I don't want to go sciencey on that, but like, you don't want your blood sugar spiking. And I'm not saying that because of being diabetic. I mean, obviously that's a real problem. If you're diabetic, you really got to watch that. But I'm talking about for like the normal average person here who doesn't have underlying conditions, you still don't want your blood sugar spiking, because if it spikes, it goes down. It's like that old saying, what goes up must come down. The higher something spikes, the lower it's going to crash. And if you don't want energy dips throughout the day, feeling blah, brain fog, mood swings, then you want your blood sugar to stay stable. And that is why it matters. That is why it matters that you choose whole grains. And that's why it matters that you try to get rid of underlying added sugar and things where it's not necessary. Save your sugar for your treats, right? So for me, whole grains is a big one. And it does make an insane difference in energy levels and blood sugar balances and all that kind of stuff. So we got lots of whole grains in this girl's pantry. Okay. And speaking of pantry, let's do pantry staples. Things I keep stocked in my pantry. Well, I will tell you, I've got lots of herbs and spices in there like anybody else. Okay, so yes, my pantry has herbs and spices in it. Lots of raw nuts, almonds, walnuts, pecans. Cashews have been added recently because of the low zinc. Never been a real big cashew eater. I have nothing against cashews. It's not personal. Just never thought of it as like a healthy food or nut, or a delicious one at that. So, but I'm having them as a little bit of a snack now, which my husband's very happy about because he loves the cashews. But apparently they give you some good zinc. That, and along with lentils. So lentils are now a big part of my life. I've always heard a million reasons to eat lentils. It's one of those things, though, that I've just dropped the ball on. Don't really cook them. I am now, as part of my weekly meal prep, making up a big old thing of lentils because of the zinc. So I'm making sure I'm getting that now. Plus, they're just good for you. I mean, and I've known this, but like I said, I'm not perfect either. Just because I'm getting, 7 out of the 10 good things doesn't mean I'm getting 10 out of 10, right? But I'm trying to get closer. I'm trying to do better all the time. So there's lots of lentils in my pantry now. And I do buy dried of these things, by the way, and cook everything myself. I don't like buying things like in cans, or I like actually making things myself. And that includes like black beans. I have a lot of black bean things. I love throwing them on everything. A black bean burrito, a salad. Crock pot black bean and chicken is so good. So I do keep those on hands too. And then if you know me, you'll know that there's probably a plethora of peanut butter in my pantry at all times, because I will not run out of peanut butter. That's part of my banana and peanut butter breakfast as a runner every single day. It's just 1 tablespoon of peanut butter before my run on a piece of whole grain toast with half of a banana. But that has been my like pre-workout breakfast. It's not my actual breakfast because it's more like a snack than anything. My breakfast is after my workout, but it's what I have every single morning with coffee. And I love it. Peanut butter. If I have to choose one food to eat for the rest of my life, I'm going to be honest with you, peanut butter is probably going to be where I go with that. I love peanut butter. So that is heavily stocked in my pantry, but I do buy organic peanut butter. And I will tell you to be very careful. Don't get the ones that say spread. Spread means they've added oils to it. The ingredients in your peanut butter should be peanuts and salt, and maybe not even salt. Some of them don't even have salt. So if you're looking for no salt, they do make that. But there shouldn't be more than the 2 ingredients in your peanut butter. I promise you. If there's oils in it, pass. Get a different one. Get a different one. Will you have to stir it sometimes? Yes, you will have to stir the peanut butter if it doesn't have the oils in it. You will have to do that. But a couple minutes to stir your peanut butter to not eat unhealthy oils, worth it. Okay. So peanut butter is definitely a staple for me. And then seeds. Pumpkin seeds are really big for me. Also very good for zinc, by the way, which I started doubling what I was putting in my yogurt. I was just putting a little pinch, but now it's a whole tablespoon or 2 in there. And then chia seeds, that's something that I've been trying to get more into my diet, and even having like chia pudding for like desserts and stuff on hand. That's something I'm trying to get like better at pre-prepping things than I was previously. So like keeping that in there. Yeah. So, and then as far as like for the goodies, I do keep like whole wheat flour, avocado oil, olive oil, those kind of things too that are good for me, that I need for pretty much every recipe I make. I need something, along those lines. So those are things I keep as pantry staples. And that actually leads right into the healthy fats, because healthy fats get underutilized a lot too. And like I said, the olive oil, the avocado oil, those are really the only 2 oils you should be consuming on a regular basis. Everything else is, well, hot garbage. Garbage. Throw it out. Stick with those 2 as much as you possibly can. 80 to 90%, okay? And again, having actual avocados on hand, like we talked about earlier, for the healthy fats. The nuts, those raw nuts, those are really good healthy fats. The nut butters, really good healthy fats. The seeds also give you healthy fats. So a lot of those things that I consider staples are giving me a lot of my healthy fats as well. So it's like a win-win. And these things are very like satiating, satisfying, flavorful, just really good things to keep on hand, and just kind of add into any little recipe you possibly can throughout the week. And then tying into sauces and condiments. So I don't have a lot of sauces and condiments on hand. I try to make what I can from scratch. I'm getting way more into making my own pasta sauces and stuff, but what I will tell you, buy the cleaner brands of the pasta sauces, the salsas, the ones that don't have all the added sugar and stuff in them. The ingredient list should be short. Same thing with things like mayonnaise. Look for the clean organic mayonnaise that's made with like avocado oil or olive oil. Look for those mayonnaises, not the ones that have the other oils in them. Ketchup, watch that ketchup. They love to load sugar in ketchup. And you can get very clean brands that don't have all that sugar and they actually taste really good, or you can make your own. Salad dressings are the same thing. Watch those ingredients. I highly recommend making your own salad dressings. They are really easy. They're so easy. It's literally dumping things into like a mason jar, shake it, and then stick it in the fridge. There's no cooking involved. There's no chopping, dicing, grating, tons of dirty dishes, no pots and pans. Almost every dressing I've made is literally just pour stuff into a jar, shake it up, and stick it in the fridge. But if you're going to buy them, and that's fine, that is fine. Not everybody wants to and or has time to make things. Watch the ingredient label. Simple, clean ingredient label. Make sure you know what it is. Like, if you can't pronounce it, it's probably not good, okay? And then freezer staples. Okay, so for me, I have my regular freezer and I have a whole other stand-up freezer. They are both half empty. At one point, I wanted to be someone that had a lot of stuff frozen up. And I think I will. Now that I have a garden, I'm going to like pre-prep out some things, some sauces, things like that. I will probably use that stand-up freezer for like end of fall, make up a bunch of stuff, freeze it into my freezer so that I have fresh sauces and things throughout the winter. Since I can't have my garden in the winter because I live in Indiana. So it'll probably start getting utilized a little more. But as far as like a regular basis, as far as my freezer staples go, again, sliced bananas. Again, I love them. Use them for so many different things. Freeze up those sliced bananas. I keep frozen blueberries in there because those are what I add to my yogurt jars every single day. I feel like using frozen works better if you're meal prepping them ahead. I make my jars for the week. The freezer ones will not get mushy so quickly. So if you make like 5 jars ahead, by the time you get to Friday or whatever, they're not all mushed up if you use the frozen fruit instead of fresh in your meal prep items like that. So I always keep those. I love the wild blueberries the best, by the way. And then I do keep a few things of like wild caught salmon, grass-fed beef, organic chicken breasts. I do keep those things in there. And then a lot of times I will keep like several backup loaves of my bread. Like I said, it's bought in the freezer section anyway. I like to make sure I don't run out of my whole grain bread since it's something I use every single day. So I like to keep those on hand. But that's about it that you're going to find. In my freezer, there might be one random freezer pizza here or there, some ice cream, but as far as staples go, actual staples, that's it. The things that I know that I want to make sure I have on hand, right? Like if I can't get to the store, or maybe the store's out that week, stores run out of things. So those are the things I keep in my freezer. Okay. So let's talk about easy meal ideas, because again, I'm not a meal prepper. I think I'm more of a food prepper. I'm a ingredient prepper. How's that? I think that we overthink the meal prepping thing. I think we get overwhelmed with it. At least I do, and that's why I don't do it that way. But if you just make ahead some salmon, some chicken, some quinoa, some black beans, maybe a few sweet potatoes, a big sheet pan full of roasted vegetables. Make those things once at the beginning of the week, and then the rest of your week, every time things are hectic, you don't feel like making a whole meal, you can grab those things and throw them together and make a meal. But for me, keeping things simple, like Greek yogurt for breakfast with blueberries and nuts and seeds in it, grabbing a big salad at lunch, throwing a chicken breast on there or some salmon on there. Dinner, again, maybe some salmon or grass-fed beef, throw some Brussels sprouts or broccoli with that, and a sweet potato. Snacks, quick, easy snacks. Like I said, cottage cheese with either pineapple, peaches, tomatoes. So good, quick, easy, no cooking. Grabbing an apple with some peanut butter. Of course, that's one of my favorites. A cup of some oatmeal with some berries. Just a whole grain toast with an egg. There's just lots of little pairings like that you can just easily grab when you're just making sure having all these things in stock. It's going to make you more likely to incorporate the healthier foods into your diet when you have them all there. So I think as far as like the grocery shopping tips that I can give you is like, don't try to buy everything at once. You don't want to waste things, first of all, and buy things that you'll actually, if you know you're not going to eat it, don't buy it. Save that space for things that you're going to eat. And my biggest tip, honestly, is shop your pantry and fridge before you leave to go to the store. See what you actually need. See what's expired. I get to the store so many times and I'm like, oh, do I already have this? Do I have enough of this? How long were the eggs good? Are the eggs about to go bad? How many of you ask these questions? Like while you're at the store and you're like, I think I have another chicken breast in the freezer. But you don't remember because you slept since then. So at least that's me. If I've slept since then good luck with me remembering anything. So just something to be aware of. Shop your own stock first before you go to the store so you kind of have a better, understanding of what you actually need and what you're low on. Again, buy organic when you can. But don't let that stop you from eating more fruits and vegetables and dairy and whatever it might be, those healthy items. Even if you can't buy organic for all of that, you still need to get more fruits and veggies and clean proteins and whole grains into your diet. Okay. So organic, yes, great. If you can't, still keep getting those items though, because they're still better for you than anything you're going to eat in packages, anything you're going to go and pick up from fast food or order in, still going to be better for you. Okay. So really focus on like building the healthy grocery list, building the healthy habits, not perfection, just build the healthy habits. Okay. Because honestly, healthy is not about eating expensive superfoods and following trends. It literally is about filling your kitchen with foods that actually nourish your body, that actually fuel your body to perform the way that it is meant to do, and that will honestly still fit your lifestyle as well, and make it easier for you to make healthier choices for you and your family every single day. So start with those few simple changes, build from there. Progress over perfection. Okay? I promise you, by shopping well, you're going to eat well. You're going to set up yourself for success throughout the week. It's hard to make healthy choices when you are tired, worn down, low on time, especially like you get home from work, you're exhausted. You don't have the mental capacity to even conjure up a healthy meal, let alone have the time to put it together every day. That's not realistic. Now, the world we live in now does not work that way, unless you are lucky enough to be like a stay-at-home mom and you get to cook and have dinner ready on the table when people come home from school and all this stuff. Then, great. But for most people, we don't have that kind of time, at least not every day, right? And I'm not saying don't make an effort to make meals, like full meals. Please do. But the days where the battle has been kind of lost, don't let the war be lost, okay? You might have lost the battle, the day sucks, but you still have all those healthy things there that you can grab and start just adding in, and things that you can take with you to lunch, things that you can give your kids for snacks, or your snack time before bedtime. You've got it all there. You've set yourself up for success in the trenches, okay? When the trenches get there, you're well stocked, so to speak, okay? So that's why it really, truly matters. The healthy eating really does start at the grocery store, not at home. It starts at the grocery store. So try to keep that in mind. And I think that will keep it more simplified and less overwhelming for you, okay? Sound good? All right. Well, there you have it. That's what a wellness coach buys, prepares, and stocks in her home, in her pantry, in her freezer, in her fridge, and in her life. So, question answered, yes? Let's take one last sip of Java here. I mean, I really didn't get many sips in today, but that's okay. We'll take double. And as always, you guys, thank you for joining on another episode of Java and Joy. I hope today's conversation poured a little joy into you. If this episode helped you, if you learned one thing, just one thing from this episode, or you know someone who could learn one thing from this episode, please share it. Share it with at least one friend. It'll take you very little time. Pay that joy forward, as I love to say so much. And the more people I can reach, the better. It helps me grow, it helps my show grow, and it helps me continue to be able to bring you this free content every single week, which I want to be able to continue to do for the foreseeable future. So please, please, please share with a friend. Leave me a review if you can. Everything resource-wise is in my show notes. If you're listening on the radio and you can't get to my show notes, just make a mental note. Go to KARLAJOYWellness.com. When you get home, all my resources are there, everything, okay? And if you have trouble finding something or you have a question, feel free. Message me on social media. Instagram is my main platform. You can DM me there. You can also email me at KARLAJOYWellness@gmail.com. Million ways to get a hold of me, right? So go check out those resources. I'm also Karla Joy Wellness on Instagram, by the way. So it's very straightforward. Karla Joy Wellness, by the way, that's Karla with a K. So I will see you all there. I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, you guys, keep finding your joy one sip at a time.